ist ein Horror-Game. The end is loading. Okay. Click to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 4.
Kann ich Pause machen? Ich mache mich mal woanders hin. Okay. Ich könnte noch ein Stück höher, ne? Störe ich hier? Und ist euch das laut genug? Okay. Listen, ist euch das laut genug? Muss ich hier irgendwas machen? Oh Gott. Ich habe das Intro übersprungen, ich Vollidiot. So ein trauriges Büro. Lauter. Passt. Ich habe das Intro leider übersprungen. Kommt hier irgendwas gesprochen?
All of his coworkers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Das ist ein
memo.
Horror-Game. Vielleicht hat er... Jetzt habe ich das nicht gelesen, weil ich... Nun. Was muss ich denn machen? Steht da Fuck drauf? Be my Valentine. Okay, ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich machen soll. Oh, da geht's raus? Nee.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's a trap, right? It's a trap? Kann ich wieder raus? No! Was habe ich gemacht? Hallo? Hello? Hello? Tips for not getting fired.
Yet there was not a single person there either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Muss ich das machen, was er... Okay. Ich mach das, was er sagt. Okay. Oder mache ich nicht das, was er...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah. I don't know. Soll ich... Ich gehe nach oben. Oder? Soll ich nach unten? Das sieht voll gruselig aus. I hate it. Feierhose. Auto. Nein, ich habe Angst. Ich will nicht. Irgendjemand wartet da bestimmt. I don't know. I'm scared. Please. Please don't kill me. Tür zu. Dunkel, gleich Horror-Game. Lass mich doch. Fuck. Ready to get dirty? What the? Ich finde diese selbstschließenden Türen äußerst unangenehm. Wieso ist hier denn keine Musik und nichts? Kurze Pause machen auf Klo.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What
Dunkles
dark secret
Geheimnis?
was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad
Listen.
behind the boss's desk
Ich hab
guarded
Angst.
the
Ich krieg
terrible
bestimmt
truth that his
übelsten...
boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
2,
Stanley
8.
couldn't possibly have known
4,
this.
5, 2, 8, 4, 5. Oh, nun. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input
Wow.
the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Wow.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ich finde dieses Büro sehr bedrückend und ich finde die Tatsache, dass die Fenster so weit oben sind, sehr unangenehm. Seht ihr das Bild da hinten? Das ändert die Farbe. Ich muss nicht... Listen. Hallo? 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 Hallo?
Building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Wait, ich muss kurz
Why did
Fokus.
he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I don't know. Okay, Chat. Links oder rechts? Left or right? I have no idea. Das sieht scheiße creepy aus. Könnte ein Trap sein, I don't know. Ja? Ja? Ich weiß nicht. Okay, ich gehe links. Ihr habt alle gesagt links.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Was? Seid ihr sicher, dass ich... I mean...
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
I don't trust you. I don't know.
Nope, still on board with death?
Ja.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Bin ich jetzt tot? Ich bin tot. Bin ich tot? Au!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow vision.
Ich komme nicht raus. Komme ich hier raus? Ich komme nicht raus. Warum komme ich nicht raus? Nein, ich will nicht. Mama!
Blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell,
Oh
Stanley.
fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, no! No! No!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Kann ich eigentlich sprinten? Nee.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
What?
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ich war die ganze Zeit tot? Ich verstehe gar nichts mehr. Bin ich da gestartet? Okay. Wait. Ist das so eine Art Karte? Muss ich... Okay. Wie zur... Jetzt wird's auch noch Deep, Allah. Button Sounds. Credits. Warte, bin ich... War's das? Was sind denn das hier alles für Sachen? Das ist ja... Muss ich... Hä? Ah, Exit. Nee, bin ich da rausgekommen?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Nein, was? Wer?
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save.
Was?
You can stop the program before
Wie
the
denn?
votes fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true
Muss
choice.
ich das jetzt machen?
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
Nun. Okay. I don't know. Ich muss neu starten. Okay. What?
All of his
die
co-workers
Klappe.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Halt die Klappe.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a
Ich
set
sollte
of
dahin
two
gehen und dann
open
immer
doors,
geradeaus.
he
Ich gehe
entered
jetzt
the
hier
door
lang.
on his left.
Na, leck
This
mich
was
doch.
not the correct way to the meeting room,
Ach, halt die
and
Klappe.
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Ja, ich spiele das
Perhaps
Spiel
he
nicht,
wanted
du
to stop by the
Kotzekopf.
employee lounge first,
Du
just to
Kotzewurm.
admire it.
Du bist ein richtiger Kotzewurm.
Yes, truly
Hey.
a room worth admiring.
Oh
It had
Gott.
really been worth
Jetzt hat
the
mein Hund
detour
auch noch an der
after
Tür
all.
gekratzt.
Just to spend a few
Mein
moments
Gott.
here in this immaculate but eager to
Mann.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nein, nehme ich nicht. Mach ich
Stanley
nicht.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
Aha,
here.
wir hatten also einen
I'm
schlechten
not your
Anfang.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing
Was
in your
muss ich machen?
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Bitte auf jede Entscheidung selber zu
Stop
treffen.
trying to make every decision by yourself.
Vielleicht möchte ich das
I'm not
aber.
asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Vielleicht möchte ich meine Entscheidung selber treffen. Vielleicht möchte ich auch zurück
Your
jetzt.
chance to redeem yourself.
Ich sagte zurück.
To put your work aside. To
Okay,
let
dann halt
her
nicht.
back
Hab ich.
into
Oh,
your
ist doch in
life.
Ordnung. So, die Tür knallt zu, nicht
She's been
erschrecken.
waiting.
Dankeschön. Hahaha, war das eine Kacke? Das war nicht richtig, oder? Oh nein. Dunkel ist immer gruselig!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
Was hab ich gemacht? Aha.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Yeah.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha!
Keine Puppen!
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Ich beweg mich kein Stück. Ich beweg mich kein Stück. Ich beweg mich kein Stück. Never. Keine Dolls. Never. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ich muss pipi.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wo?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Bitch. Ich will nicht. Ich drück irgendwas anderes. Lass mich in Ruhe, du Kackvogel. Ach.
But in his mind, he can go on
Okay, ich kann nichts
fantastic
machen.
adventures. From behind his desk,
Moin,
Stanley
ein
dreamed
wunderschön.
of wild
Wie geht's dir?
expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it
Okay,
would
ich kann
ever
mich auch nicht
happen to
bewegen,
him.
großartig.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined
Was
that
ist noch
one
da?
day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Ich habe alles
The
Mögliche
thought
gedrückt, hat nicht
excited him
funktioniert.
terribly.
Also ich drücke jetzt wirklich alle Tasten. Ich weiß nicht, ob ihr das hören könnt, aber okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
Ich will, dass
choice.
die Puppe
It barely
verschwindet. Ich mag
even
mich gar
mattered
nicht
what lay behind
bewegen.
each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to
Crazy, ein
behold.
wunderschön. Wie geht's dir?
As he wandered through this fantasy world,
Ah.
he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always
Ist das-
feel this free.
Okay.
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Ah. Lieb dich.
But there is no answer.
Aha.
How could there
Okay.
possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has
Oh,
changed.
Herr Goodin, hör
The
auf.
longer he
Ich hab
spends
so
here,
zu
the more
Schiss, ey.
invested he gets,
Ja, ich hoffe,
the
dir
more
geht's
he
gut.
forgets which life is the real one.
Ach, 0.
And I'm trying to tell
Oh
him
Gott, ich
this,
dachte gerade, das
that
ist
in
ein
this
O.
world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Ich hab voll verkackt. Um nichts in Frage zu stellen, ne, mach ich nicht. Mach ich nicht. Ah.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Jetzt hab ich's kaputt gemacht? Hab ich's kaputt gemacht? Hab ich's... Ist es... Okay, listen.
What could it mean?
Okay, ich gehe mal das, wo ich hingehen soll, okay? Ja. Ich mach alles, was du willst. Und dann?
To his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ja, machen wir. Und dann gehen wir dahin, wo wir sollten.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
das
was
immer
once
noch?
again stunned to discover not an
2,
indication of
8,
any human
4,
life.
5.
What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of
Entschuldigung!
anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for
What?
a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. Wenn ich ein Game wäre, wäre ich wahrscheinlich dieses Game.
Stanley walked straight
Ja,
ahead through the
blablabla.
large door that read
Böse.
Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What the?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
What
screen.
the fuck?
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Das ist ja genau mein Spirit. What the fuck? Was? Shit, bin ich Gott?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Hat er
That
gern
his
geschehen.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Sollte ich gleich sterben, muss ich einmal kurz Lulu.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his
Mir geht's
entire
auch
life
gut.
utterly
Nein.
blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What? Disabled? Wait, musste ich 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machen? 1, 2, 3, wo ist 4? I have no idea what I'm doing. But it's okay. I'm just a kid. I ask questions. Okay. Let's get ready to rumble! And nothing happens. Nun. Regret-Button. Regret-Button! Geht nicht.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
What should I do? An oder aus? Ich mach mal aus. Mach hin, ich muss Lulu.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Kann der meine Gedanken lesen?
Yes. He had won.
Hab ich gewonnen oder hat er gewonnen?
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Die essen.
What
Guten
other
Hunger,
mysteries
Wasted.
did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wir haben eine Errungenschaft freigeschaltet. Ein Achievement.